Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it. This is Samson to Liberian Public Radio. But I want to bring your attention to a show that I'm going to be having tonight. It's going to be very interesting. I'm encouraging all of you, those of you that are listening to this video, to tune in tonight, because perhaps this might be some of the reason why we have all of the mess that is going on in our own country. Because you have to listen to these things. These things, the trouble we've been having in Liberia didn't start overnight. These are things that's been happening from time to time. There are those who came before us, past generation, failed to recognize these things, and will continue to repeat them. And because we ourselves have not yet able to recognize and see if these things can be rectified, so that this country, beautiful country of ours, can be built just by our hands as Liberian. It doesn't matter who you are at this point. Concord country, it doesn't even exist anymore. We're all one another. We're all one country, one people. But if we do not understand why these things are happening to us, we're most likely not going to be able to find solution. So I ask you tonight to join me.
Yet, how does one begin to help people who swim on their own flooded streets to voting booths to vote incompetent criminals back into office?
Yes, that is a big question we all have to answer. How do you help people who will go to the voting booth swimming in their own flooded streets just to vote people in offices who are incompetent? And those incompetent people that are being voted in offices will also appoint people who are also incompetent. So this is like a big deal. How do we help our brothers and sisters to make sure that their voting rights are utilized effectively? They have the voting cards. They must be told how important their voting cards are to all of us. And so I'm saying those of us that have this platform, this is not time for hate. You don't come into this because you hate. You must do all you can to educate the voters themselves, how important their voting cards are. Because if their vote our leaders being able to do what is right for our people. Join me this evening as I try to explore this particular question and many more that will be coming. Join me this evening at 8 Eastern Time, 5 Pacific, where we will take on this question and be able to see how much we can go. With your help, we, the Liberian people, will be able to educate our brothers and sisters that have the right to vote whoever they want, but they must do so with responsibility. This is Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. Thank you very much.
C'est au-dessus de moi, encore une autre fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas loupé nous. Quand il y a Sylvie, il y a quoi qui j'ai loupé presse. L'Amérique n'a pas loupé, t'as mon bien de moi avec moi, en ce moment, on va battre au moins, néo. Mon temps d'hier, t'as mon mouillé, on s'est abattu pour moi, il pleure. Tout là, l'occasion.
Doing anything that people get to amend it. And there will be from 2005 to date. We're all doing anything. I've done something. Trust me. I'll be re-elected. You understand? So you don't need to fight. You don't need to destroy your country. You don't need to even condemn your country. You have to be inspired, peacefully, and then convince the people, persuade people. Politics is about persuasion. And it's about what you have done for your people. I have done so much that I don't need pay for. You know why I don't need pay for? Because Liberians love me and they promoted me when I was on a soccer page. You understand? And they were proud to be Liberian when I was on a soccer page. And I've done my best for my country. I'm a former peace ambassador. It doesn't matter what people say. I'm on record.
Ìyàwó abẹ́lá lókè yóò níbi tó jọba ẹ̀ níbi tó yọba máa ti sìnwọ̀n pé yóò mọ́nàjà jíjì wọ́n pè sàmẹ́ fọ́sí o sí ti kọ́nẹ́ ti kọ́nẹ́ àdìbàtẹ́ ṣogo yọ́nská yà sẹ́ndé tó yé bi lọ́ máa tún fẹ́ fún mi vito àní tẹ́lẹ̀gbẹ́.
Henry, I can tell you the problem of this country with respect to prices, with respect to health, with respect to education, and largely tied to roads. There are no roads. You don't see opportunities where they should be when you don't have roads. From up to 173 years, we only have one road. How do you know what is happening in Bapolu when you don't have roads? You don't go there. The prices of goods, commodities in the market are high because to get them to where they are needed. So there's no way you can, when I talk about road, I'm not talking about putting road on the sidewalk in Monrovia, $50,000 road and make it $3 million. We're talking about roads that will open up the country. We're talking about roads that will open up opportunities, roads that will get businesses going, and dependency reduced because people believe their goods and commodities can get to the market. That's what we're talking about.
But we'll prosecute and will confiscate assets that people steal and acquire by illicit means. I often say that in Liberia, when people get caught, they send their wife, they send their children, they send their relatives, whatever, to come and beg. I'm saying the Liberian people, don't come and beg. You know, don't come and tell me, oh, stand to help you get elected. He talked nice about you on the radio station. Now he's stealing, so forgive him. Stanley should have known when he was stealing that we're going to punish him. So there's going to be consequences. That's the first thing. Then we have to make sure we're paying people a living wage. So we did the arithmetic, we did the math in 2017 that when you look at policeman's salary or healthcare worker's salary or teacher's salary, by the middle of the month, the money finished. By the time they pay rent, they buy food, they pay the children to eat, and of course, they're not going to starve, right? So the policeman will pull you over, the teacher will accept bribe, they change grades.
Good evening, folks. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Thank you for being here again tonight. We said thank you, we appreciate it. Tonight there's going to be a doozy one. We're going to be doing a lot of reading, and there are some interesting analysis after the reading. I hope that you will pay close attention to that, because it's going to surprise you. It's going to surprise you, to be honest with you, because the three top candidates of this upcoming election, their perspective of the Liberian situation, where they want to take Liberia, very, very, very different. And you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. Good evening, folks. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. See all that I have here tonight. It's going to be a very interesting one. But we're going to do our best. The intent here is not to show that we can read total English and what have you, but just to see if we can help our brothers and sisters to understand what exactly is happening, what do they have, and what is facing them. So we will do our best here tonight again, and then after the reading, we hope the panel himself will join us as we go through that. Okay. Enough of this writing. Folks, safety. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening. Because of you, we are here. Because of you, we are alive. Because of you, we eat. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. My Lord, only through you things are possible. And we're asking you every day that you give us that opportunity, that we pass all of our things, whatever it is we want to do on earth, that we pass it through you, that you be in command and direct whatever it is we try to do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you. Thank you for your protection. My Lord, you are wonderful. All is right. Thank you. My Lord, we know election is coming for the Republic of Liberia, and we will continue to put the Republic of Liberia in your hands and pray and beg and ask you to guide us. Open the hearts and minds of the politicians, the leadership of the Republic of Liberia, the opposition leadership as well, so they can see that politics is not about war, that politics is about ideas, and they are trying to take Liberia to the same place, except on a different route. And we ask you to guide the process, that Liberians, whatever it is, they can disagree on, but they should voice all violence in this upcoming election. Let's enjoy it ourselves through your blessing, through your guidance, my Lord. Things are possible. We want to thank you very much for your continued guidance and your continued protection. We put the Liberian people, the leadership of Liberia, and the opposition leadership in your hands. We pray for them. We ask that you give them wisdom to do what is good for us and our people. We also want to thank you, my Lord, for the opportunity you have given us. And we will continue to do what we have to do to help brothers and sisters back home as well. My Lord, as we come out here again tonight, give us wisdom. Guide our tongues. Guide our thoughts. Whatever comes out of our mouth tonight, again, to face our brothers and sisters, must be of a decent proposal. And we must believe in it. Take away all jealous ideas. Take away all hateful ideas. The presidencies, all of these people, they are human beings and they're doing their best they can. Please help us to take the hate out of this policy and the program tonight. My Lord, we ask you to bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay. Thank you, folks. Those of you that are watching, please share this video. Share this video as much as you can. Share this video as much as you can. It's very important that this video be shared for folks, other folks, to be able to come in and join us. This is something that I've been wanting to do here. I've been wondering to see if any of the politicians have something that I can read and talk about. But this first of all, happy July 26th, 176 year, I believe. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Those of us, and I say all of us, have sacrificed a lot for our country. All of us. Some of you here, you're in America, but it wasn't your intent. You're in America because of crisis. And so all of us have suffered. You might be enjoying at the tail end of your travel to the United States now, but it wasn't easy traveling here. Many of you suffer. But with God's blessing, you're here and making good living. So all of us have suffered greatly for that nation. And we ask that God continue to protect the process. I'm going to read tonight all three of the leading candidates for president. They made July 26th a statement. And it's very, very, I mean, as I was reading it, as I read through it from President WEAH to Cummings, and every time you pick up one of those and start reading, the emotional level of going, yo, yeah, all day. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. These three gentlemen, the way they think and the way they believe how to take Liberia to the next level. It is unbelievable, folks. It is unbelievable. And I ask you tonight, please, I don't care whoever you're supporting, but take out your heart, the political party hat for now. And just let's listen to the words that were expressed by these three gentlemen or three honorable men about the country, Republic of Liberia. It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And I will give you the layout right now, and then I can go into that. President WEAH, his message was, we're doing good, and there's more good things to come. The day of Liberia, good thing is way ahead of us. And he asked, I will read all of them, but I'm just giving you the gist. He asked that Liberians continue to come together for the sake of Mama Liberia, that we work together. Ambassador BOAKAI, on the other hand, I didn't know, you know, these things, hey, those of us that consider ourselves political junkie, I'm truly enjoying myself. I mean, I thank God for keeping me alive all this time. I didn't know all the loan that I've been an admirer of Ambassador BOAKAI. I didn't know that Ambassador BOAKAI has within him. The serving is progressive. And it came through in this message. It came through unbelievable. The Ambassador BOAKAI, as you know, you see him like this, you think he's so far from it, my people. Ambassador BOAKAI, far from it. So what he did with his speech, not only to educate the young Liberians, those that were listening, those that might listen, or those that might have the opportunity to read it, but he said that the problem of this country is only based on not only when it started, but how this problem continued to exist. He tells you the root cause, and he also explains how Liberians are hanging on to the root cause without them realizing that they are hanging on to the root cause of what is causing the problem in Liberia. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm telling you, politics are something else. Politics are something else. I will read that. So, Kumi, on the other hand, he said, forget kumbaya. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to be truthful. This government is, Kumi went blasting. He used some colorful language, foolishness. Kumi went, woo, my goodness. Folks, I'm telling you, this is going to be enjoyable tonight. I think if you would just, take yourself from the political party hat, take your hat off, and just let's enjoy the language. I will do my best. I will be reading it like total man. So perhaps some of the wording might not be pronounced the way you want it to be. But I invite you to go to how do you call it? Daily Observer, and you will see those things there in there. But it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The little understanding, of course, I don't understand no English or I don't know both. But the little understanding, you can tell that these people, they're all trying, though. You will understand that they're all trying their best to make sure Liberia gets to that point. And then, I will not even read that one. Chief Sangolo, Gagolo, whatever it is, has no clue what Liberian politics is all about. None whatsoever. He has no clue that the Liberian politics has graduated from so say one, so say all, and that is now one man, one vote. He has no clue. And so when they asked him to be the orator of the July 26th Independence Day celebration, he just decided to go back in the 70s, the early days of the 70s, so say one, so say all, Topman is the bad top will die in office, those kinds of stuff. Unbelievable. But I'm not even going to address that. I'm not going to address that. But what I want you to pay attention to tonight is the reading. It's going to take some time. I might not even have the opportunity to finish all, but I want you to pay attention to it. Please help me. And if you can share the video, I will appreciate it. I also want to take this opportunity here to say to my own son, Sise Goya, happy anniversary. I put something together that I'm going to play later on. I was going to do it yesterday, but then of course, you know why. I'm not going to go into that one. But folks, here's the interesting thing here that I want us to first of all understand. July 26th, the Independent Day of the Republic of Liberia started way back. And they have what they call 1847 Constitution. Now, it's difficult for me to apportion blame on certain group or certain administration or certain generation. Perhaps those things that were happening on those leaderships and what have you, their generation, it was simply that. But what I couldn't understand was when the Liberia Constitution was written, they only had few states or counties. And those counties were recognized fully in the Constitution. 1847 Constitution until 1986 Constitution was written. But all along, when all the counties were incorporated into Liberia, whatever they called it in the 60s, 64, whatever, why would they not come back into the 1847 Constitution and try to amend the Constitution so that those things can be reflected. And the way I would, you know what? I would, one of these days, I would do side-by-side analysis of these two constitutions. But the point that I want to make here before I go reading the Independent Day messages from these three honorable people is this. I think the suppression process of whoever was leading us those days blinded them completely, in as much as they feel for the indigenous, in as much as they are educated, but because of the way to suppress, blinded their ability to actually see that the Constitution they put together was only there for themselves. It's unbelievable. I went through the Constitution and I was wondering why did they make, but then I thought to myself, well, you're talking about 1847 and up to 1980, whatever. So they have the right. They, that's what they were doing. That's fine with me. Folks, I will go through that. And then, of course, we have the 1986 Constitution as well. The reason why I'm bringing these things up because these are documents that are binding to us together. They are the glue, democracy, the glue that put us together. And we're all in this together. It doesn't, and Ambassador BOAKAI went through that as well. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. We are together based on shared value. Simple. There's no two-way street about it. But let me start. Again, folks, welcome Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Let me, before I go there, let me put myself in a reading mode. You see how we LIBERIA, how we are. All the LIBERIAN music are coming to read about LIBERIA. They'll go all the way to Congo to get Congo music to put myself in the reading LIBERIA. That's who we are. You know who I am. But I don't hide nothing. I tell you what I'm saying. But anyway, let's go ahead. So President WEAH made a special message by President WEAH in observance of the Liberia's 176th independent anniversary. He thanked the the first lady, the vice president, the president from Gambia and the president from Ghana were there, and all the other people, the speaker, the member of Senate, all that kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about. You know how he's president, so he can do that. Bishop, other people, he did that. But let's go to the meat. And now I want you to pay attention. Please take your CDC hat off and just listen to the message. My fellow citizens, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, he says, the president that is. Today, on this extraordinary occasion of the 176th anniversary of our beloved Republic of Liberia, we gather here at the historic Centennial Memorial Pavilion to celebrate another significant milestone in our nation's history. With heartfelt of gratitude and reflection, we thank the Almighty God for guiding us through 176 years of independence as a sovereign nation and people. That's one word there you have to put into circle that. Sovereign nation. In other words, in the 176 history, always been sovereign nation. Nobody had come in and said, no, you're too stupid. I will control us for some time. They haven't done that. As we stay here today, President said, we cannot ignore the shadow cast by the cracked past of our nation, particularly the dark chapter of the Civil War that destroyed our beloved land for 15 long and painful years. We remember the lives lost and the countless families torn apart with with over 250,000 Liberians perished and more than 1.5 million displaced, both at home and abroad. It's a stark reminder of the cost of division and discord. President reminding us, it will continue to make plan, will come together. These are things that happened to us before, and it might again. Yet, amidst the ruin of that time, we have preserved unity by a common purpose and an unwavering determination to rebuild our nation. We have proven that what unites us as Liberians is far stronger than what divides us. Today, we celebrate not just the anniversary of our independence, but also the resilience of our people who, through all challenges, have clung to the hope of united and prosperous Liberia. On this day, I extend my sincere gratitude to our fellow Liberians for their tendency and commitment to preserving our statehood and sovereignty despite our internal differences. See, the president recognizes these things. It is this unity and determination that have enabled us to overcome the decades of time and move forward a brighter future. I would also like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to our friends and allies, especially my friend and brother, His Excellency Amana Boro, President of the Republic of Gambia, and His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, for honoring our invitation and gracing this occasion with their presence. I also want to thank the Speaker, the honorable members of the ECOWAS Parliament, and the distinguished representative of the African Union who have honored our invitation to be present here today. Your presence sanctify the strong bonds of brotherhood. What's this though? The only brotherhood? Brotherhood and solidarity that exists within the African continent. In a similar vein, I want to thank all the other guests who have honored our invitation to grace this occasion. We are grateful that you have come from far and wide to share this historic moment with us. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me now take this moment to congratulate Chief Zanga Groro, Chairman of the Council of Chiefs, for a beautiful orator he delivered today. His selection to serve as the national orator on this day was in honor and respect to the traditional chiefs and Zoe of our land. I am sure that his message has resonated with all Liberians, as it did with me, and that it will have a meaningful impact on our unity, our peace, and our forward progress. It is also my hope that the message in today's oration will inspire us to re-examine ourselves and continue relentlessly in our pursuit of national reconciliation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the theme of this year's celebration, giving our people hope and for a violent, free, fair, transparent, and inclusive and credible election, has served us notice about our Constitution, our duty to uphold it. We must remember that the adoption of the Declaration of Independence was done simultaneously with the first Constitution of Liberia. He mentioned that. In this regard, the anniversary of both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution constitute Independence Day. When I took the oath of office as president of this republic, I pledged to uphold and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia to the best of my ability. As law-abiding citizen, you have also pledged, tying the Liberian people along with him. As law-abiding citizen, you have also pledged similar alliance to the country on various occasions. Together, we have a collective duty and obligation to uphold, protect, and defend the Constitution. The theme of this year's celebration is therefore a reminder for us to do our duty to our country and our God. It is interesting to note that today marks the final independent. Yeah, we go now. Now, I want you to pay attention to this now, and then I'll come back to it. He's getting ready to tell us now. Listen to this. It is interesting to note that today marked the final Independence Day celebration of my first mandate as president of Liberia, and the last before the holding of general and presidential election in the next few months. I am focused on sparing no energy in ensuring that the interest of Liberian people is served and that their will is done. You will recall that along with other stakeholders, we recently signed the Farmington Declaration, which imposed on us the obligation to make the environment violence-free and to work together to ensure that ensuring elections are free, fair, transparent, and inclusive. Today, I reiterate, with renewed resolve, my commitment to patriotically discharge the responsibility imposed on me as your leader in the promotion and preservation of the fundamental rights and freedom that are guaranteed by the Constitution, and to strive to create an atmosphere that is conducive to the free and unrestricted right to exercise your franchise in a peaceful, transparent, and inclusive process. President WEAH says, I promise that the conduct of the October 10 general and presidential election will be credible and will meet all national and international standards. Although I am the chief executive administrator of the country, the success we are promising does not rest with me alone. The inclusiveness of this exercise requires the full and committed participation of all citizens and friendly partners. Above all, it requires the unresolved commitment of those political stakeholders who are vying for position in these forthcoming elections, as well as their followers. It should be understood that while our individual collective political interests are upmost, those desires should not be put above the interest and general well-being of the country, which is indeed our collective interest. Ah, yes. After long and bitter years in the wilderness of agony, we should know the value of peace. I am happy that since August 18, 2023, when leaders of various factions, now there's another interesting one here. Watch this. And later on, when I go into the politics more, I will wrap this thing around the president. But for now, I'm reading so that we can enjoy it. Okay. I am happy that since August 18, 2023, when leaders of various factions and interests made a solemn affirmation to end violence by signing the Comprehensive Peace Agreement in Accra, Ghana, Liberians have demonstrated their resolve never to resort to violence or go to war to settle their grievances. All leaders since then, including me, he says, have upheld the pledge to upheld the pledge to uphold the peace and keep our country stable and progress. I call on our citizens to be proud of themselves and their country, to be proud of preserving the sovereignty and cohesive integrity of Africa First and Oldest Republic. Many thanks also go to our friend, partner, and foreign resident for assisting us to uphold and defend our sovereignty. Our combined fortitude and patriotic commitment are an inspiration of hope for the future of Liberia that will rise and remain the bestowings of positive Africa in history, positive history in Africa and the world. As we look to the future, we do so with hope and optimism. We have come a long way, and I firmly believe that the best days of our nation are yet to come. Our journey towards prosperity and progress is far from over, but I am confident that together we will continue to develop the spirit of love, unity, reconciliation that will prepare us forward as a nation state. This nation state here, this nation state, they have nation state, and then they have, okay, I'll come to that here. Nation state, I'll come down to that, okay? There's a specific reason why I believe why the president decided to call it nation state. Fellow citizens, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, let us continue to stand tall with pride for our nation achievement, and let us march forward with renewed resolve to overcome the challenges that lies ahead. Together, unity as one people will build a Liberia that continues to shine as a beacon of hope and progress in Africa and the world. Okay, I'm back. May God bless you all. May God bless Liberia, and may we celebrate many more prosperous and peaceful years as an independent, sovereign nation. Happy Independence Day to all. I thank you, President WEAH. President WEAH. After the president, it was his message. He didn't come across as running campaign. He didn't come across as saying, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this. Instead, and they, this is one of the things that those who will be in collaboration with the president in writing these kinds of stuff, they are smart. They know when to apply these things. Just like the inaugural address, this is an inspiration message. This is not about political activities. He reminded us there's politics coming later on, and we will all get involved. But for now, he wants to thank all of us for being the pillow in the progress of moving Liberia from one point to another, forward marching, he called it. And I thought that was very interesting. That was very interesting. That's President. We have to keep that in mind. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it to analyze it. Yeah. Power, good night. You don't even have to come back again. You don't have to come back. You don't have to come back. You just go. Don't come back. Don't come back. We don't want you. Go. Don't come back. Don't say you because I'll not stop reading. But in fact, just because of that, as soon as I start reading, I call the show up. And let me the way you say now. But I don't know. I'm very serious. No, but man, anytime you're ready, come back. You want to stay, you stay. Okay, let's go to Ambassador BOAKAI. Very interesting. President, we are on one hand inspiration and telling us that the sunny days of Liberia is way ahead of us. He's telling us that because of our past, we should learn from the past history and come together, unite ourselves so that we can work together and rebuild the country. President WEAH. Very inspirational. Okay. I'm talking, you're talking. Let me call you up. Okay, folks, give me a minute. I think this time, I'll come back to play again because I got to get my whatchamacallit. So let me now go ahead and play this here. It's a very, this is for citizens. Before I go on reading Ambassador BOAKAI and Honorable Cummings' message here, let me go ahead and do this here for my younger brother as well. Sister, this is for you and your wife. Happy anniversary.
Tell me what You've seen her bad places, I will make her not to go there again. Yeah, she gossips too much, I'm gonna cut her mouth too sharp. You know how to be a tramp, I will make her remain steady. You don't like the way she smiles, not my fault. You don't like the way she speaks, it's not my fault. You don't like the way she walks, not my fault. You don't like the way she's built, kneel down, pray to Lord. You don't like the way she's built, kneel down, pray to Lord. You don't like the way she's built, kneel down, pray to Lord. Tell me what else to do, I will do it. Please help me to build her, they don't tell me to drop her. Help me to build her, they don't tell me to drop her. We're my friends, she's my choice, 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 she's my choice. I spent so many days to believe alone. I went through so many scandals to believe alone.
Yeah, that is our own analyst here, Cesar Goyer, one of the smarter young Liberians here in the diaspora, who has continued to improve his own life, and then by the extension, continue to improve the lives of many Liberians as well. Thank you. Okay, folks, Samson told. Let's go on to Ambassador BOAKAI. Now, Ambassador BOAKAI, like I said, is a little bit different in that, and he even told us, he said, based on my experience, I will give you a different perspective. Let's go ahead, folks. If you think the reading is too long, you don't want to be here, that's okay. That's okay. We're here to do a work. So those of you that will stay with us, we say thank you. We appreciate it. If you can't stay, that's okay. We say thank you anyway. So let me do one other thing here before I go on. So Ambassador BOAKAI, I didn't know, like I stated earlier, that Ambassador BOAKAI does have within him the 70s progressive. You can't especially if you read if you listen to what I'm going to be reading now. It's very interesting, very interesting. So just stay with me, just a few more minutes. That's something I'm trying to take care of here. Just give me a minute, okay? So the point here is, well, the reason why I'm doing this reading, because I know many of you are very busy. It's not that you can't go and read anything yourself. You can. You have the mindset and you can do it. I know that because you have the ability to do so. But many of us work and busy. So when we have these kinds of show, the opportunity, if I can read a total language here, I know many of you understand my no-go English here tonight. So I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And if you think my no-go English is just too much for you, that you want to go and listen to it yourself, go to or read it yourself, go to Daily Observer, and you'll be able to see it there. It's very interesting as well. Okay, so let me do this one more again. Okay, Samson told Liberian Public Radio, and we try to do what we can here to bring these things to our brothers and sisters. So let's go on to, and I'll play this stuff again one more time before we close for the day, but I'll do that. So Ambassador BOAKAI, quite recently, I believe it's over the weekend, or during a celebration in Rhode Island, he was invited by the Rhode Island Liberian Community Organization over there. So let me go on straight to it. Ambassador, okay, the president, Liberian Community Association, Rhode Island officer, member, blah, blah, blah. Fellow Liberian ladies and gentlemen, he says, listen, no. It is always my pleasure and joy to be warmly welcome and commune with members of the Liberian diaspora community in the United States. Whenever I am here even if on an unofficial business as I am on this trip to attend to family and personal matters. I must say, however, that this community of Liberians has a way of pushing you to the limit when he's so you see that he throwing a jab at these young people, pushing you, but he recognizes that you're pushing me too much. I gotta take it easy. But he says, I'm here, I'm enjoying it. Anyway, the Liberia has a way of pushing you to the limit whenever it comes to the demand for a conversation on some of the vexing issue facing our country. You prepare yourself. Coming. It is in this light that I see a 36-hour notice to serve as an independent orator for this year independence celebration as quintessential diasporan, even as important as this occasion is. I am honored, however, to be invited to serve as the speaker for the celebration of the 126th independent anniversary of the founding of Liberia. The celebration of this anniversary in the United States is more than just a reflection of the day in the motherland, as many of you nostalgically remember it may in many years back. It should also be a moment to ponder over the question of why, after 176 years, we are still grappling with the dark and not even a minimum reflection of the heights attained by the United States, a country from whom it is usually believed we got the inspiration of statehood. Yeah, you pay attention. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to speak to you on this momentous occasion on the topic, society reborn, brand, creating an equal future for Liberia. Creating an equal future for Liberia. Although it has largely been romanticized as the establishment of the first Black republic in Africa and a necessary project to escape the throes of slavery, and arguably the continent's first self-governing country, the founding of Liberia was inspired by noble ideas. Here comes the 70 progressive coming. Y'all push it. Oh man, he's not ready to show you now. The progressive is still alive. The progressive ideas is still alive. And y'all push old man to my. Come and tell you now. Ideas of freedom, equality, and human dignity, valued intrinsic to the aspiration of all persons and their personal development. But the unfolding formation of Liberia state, in spite of the lofty idea of the founder, was soon to be forged with political, economic, and social fascists. Okay, first, okay, I'm not going to define people's word here tonight. Okay, largely occasioned by bad leadership that has and continue to threaten the very foundation of the country and the desire to create a just and fair society. As a result, state building as opposed to nation building, state building where you create, okay, the support mechanism to carry it when you're building a state. You don't value people right that much because you're still building the state. So violation happens. But nation building is where you, according to that, is where you do development and all the other rights enshrined in the whatever it is, they're there. You're not touching them, but you're there to develop the nation, the nation building. Let me read that again. As a result, after the founding fathers started fooling around with things that they're not supposed to do and things that they were supposed to do, they're not doing it. As a result, state building as opposed to nation building becomes and continue to be the common object of the ruling elite. Ruling elite. Where the state is used as an agency for elite corruption and social and economic deprivation. A reflection, he said. On the 176th anniversary of the founding of our country, it is fitting to reflect on our past. How far we have come, where we are and where we hope to go. Either by design or by error, we must admit that our system, as it were, has contributed in a way to many of the inequalities in the country, thus depriving many of our people of the voice in their own affair and of the opportunity for the better and dignified life they hold. He's saying here that many of the problem we have, okay, whether we did it by design or by error, but it's in us. We're holding on to those things. Politically, the central state system, where decision about the affair of the country are made in Monrovia, while little participation by other citizens across the rural and urban community has been one of the major causes of inequality in society. It is not surprising, therefore, that the nature of our governance system is such that the Liberian state has become predatory, with few people illegitimately using the institution of the state to accumulate and control wealth at the expense of the majority in the society. Ambassador BOAKAI is telling us. I've been saying it here over and over that Liberians, when they get to a certain position, they are very sophisticated. And this is what the sophistication level is, what Ambassador BOAKAI is saying here, that there are those within the governance system that are so sophisticated. They use the state functioning ability to illegally use the institution of the state to accumulate and control wealth for themselves. Legally, many of them. Legally, many of them. Because they know how to play the system. Instead of the ruling elite personalizing the resources of the state, a more participatory engagement in governing and decision-making by all Liberians, in my view, guarantee a more wholesome and functioning society. Similarly, the economic foundation of our development has left much to be desired, as the nature of the Liberian economic underlining some of the strain in our society. Liberia is largely an agrarian society with an abundance of natural resources. However, the majority of the activities, the majority of the active population operates in substandard agriculture with little opportunity for growth. And it is expense is a concession regime. Okay, let me read that again. At its expenses is a concession regime supported by Liberia's rich endowment of natural resources, where these commodities are extracted with little value addition. The irony is that while commodity extraction has supported the economy over the years and increased growth, such growth has been unequal because we have not plowed profit back into the development to benefit the majority of our people. Ambassador BOAKAI is telling us. Hence, growth without development, where economic growth based on commodity extraction has little to show, in terms of probable development for the public good. The result is that only a few people benefit, while the majority, many of whom work in the less supported agricultural sector, are left out, with a third or more of the population poor and a historic rural neglect despite abundant resources. It's called for a substantial rethinking of how we do business and other society. Ambassador BOAKAI is saying we have to revamp the entire system. Because according to him, the system is not working for us. The system, according to him, is set up that those elite that have the ability to manipulate the system legally can do so and immerse wealth, massive wealth for themselves, while many people are suffering. It can equally be argued that the political and economic foundation of the Liberian state have all provided the undercurrent of societal tension in our society. Political bondage and huge economic and wealth disparity have created a social gap between a few group of people, their social, political, and economic network, and a large section of the population, many of whom live far below the poverty line. With the delivery of social service, including health and education, highly unequal. The result is public mistrust of the governing elite, a poor relationship between the state and a citizen, and political and other social conflict. Rebranding the society and looking forward to an equitable future. After 176 years of independence, it appears improbable to change the very nature of an old country like Liberia, with all the trapping of a society much affected by the vestiges of an old order rooted partly in the origin of the state. But it is possible to do, he's saying. I believe with the right leadership to mobilize citizens to work, we can make the changes required to transform the country and ensure an equitable society. Given my experience, he said, years of interaction and knowledge about Liberians at all levels of society, I know for sure we deeply love our country and long for genuine peace, reconciliation, and development. We therefore must make the hard decision necessary to begin the step of transformation, Ambassador BOAKAI is saying. First, the crisis of Liberia, the crisis of Liberia, a crisis of governance. It does not take much for an observer of Liberian society to understand that much of the country's problem are intrinsically related to governance. This is why addressing the issue of governance is foremost. We must act with deliberate resolve that governance will not be exclusive preserve of the few people, and that the nature of governance as it is must be improved to include the broad participation of the people, including those in the rural community, in decision-making process. This means the constitutional review process and reform initiated by our government in the last term, which include decentralization, local services, delivery, and local government, should be fast-tracked. When people are able to determine their welfare and seek their own solution based on local context, the impact becomes more concrete. It is more my view that when governance is shared, marginalization is much more timid and equality become more visible. Similarly, strong governing outcomes are obtained with a focus on democratic tendencies, such as accountability, transparency, the rule of law, and the functioning and capable institutions that are able to provide effective public service. When societies share the value of a good and participatory governance, it becomes more functional. Second, the economic must be made to work for everyone. It means pursuing a diversified economy that leverage the country cooperative advantage in agriculture in particular, where more than 70% of the labor forces operate, with 60% of the population made up of young people. The demographic dividends on the economy as a result of effectively developing this course, especially in agriculture, will not be increased. Will not only increase productivity, but magnitude poverty nationwide. Mitigate poverty nationwide. I believe as the economy open up and more Liberians becomes involved, economic wealth can then be leveraged to promote a just and equitable society where every Liberian can live a dignified life. Third, historical social cleavages based on political, economic, social, and cultural lines and other stereotypes at adversary to the value of an equitable society. It is a common knowledge that these cleavages particularly define the relationship between the descendants of the settler class who founded the state and their African kinsmen along the Pepper Coast. In later years, cleavages were perpetrated by the ethnic dominance in politics. But as I have mentioned, providing equal opportunity to all Liberians in all spheres of national life, including the economic and governance, remove these privileges and mitigates their associated tension. In addition, access to social services such as quality education, healthcare will help develop well-grounded citizens, including a capable and productive labor force able to thrive in a society based on merit. More importantly, reconciling a nation building with a common national aspiration will serve as guardrail against social tension and conflict. Leveraging relationship with the United States. Liberia's relationship with the United States is spoken about in glorious terms by every Liberian, myself included. But as we celebrate 176 years since our founding, we are yet to show how we have made these traditional relationships work for us in a way that have helped transform the country. This is not to suggest, however, that I am not cognizant of the debate over the dynamic of nearly 2 centuries of relationship nurtured across the Atlantic. But given the long relationship, it is a bit discomforting to be found debating about how we as a country are still struggling to come to terms with the extent to which we think the relationship might benefit us. I believe we deserve more, but it is my view that we cannot ask the United States to do for us what we cannot do, what we can do for ourselves, including leveraging the relationship of the good of our country. For example, how might we expect American taxpayer money to support our development when the government official embezzle public funds with impunity and government official personally pocket tax raised locally? Or why do we not speak up when the rule of law is violated by expect American to raise her voice on our behalf? I am of a few fronting conviction that we can make the relationship work when we properly partner with the United States in a way that promote an equitable society. In this light, working with the U.S. to build our democracy, to end the culture of corruption and impunity, and to promote deep economic and cultural cooperation while collaborating on serious global challenges like climate change and international security cooperation will help lift the relationship to a level beneficial to both countries. The role of diaspora community. The role of diaspora community in the United States is also crucial in the effort to build an equitable society and to help improve the country's political, economic, and social condition. Over the last few decades, a steady stream of Liberians migrating to the United States has built a sizable and strong community, which for many years had left the indelible mark on Liberia's political, economic, and social life. I believe you still have a pivotal role to play and can be an important partner in rebranding the country and improving our society. As they say, you must put your money where your mouth is. This means you must learn your worth, expertise, skill, and your network to this effort. I understand this is not a one-way street. You have a concern about security, infrastructure, utility, healthcare, education, etc. I can promise you that I will work with all Liberians to create an enabling environment that will support you to thrive and contribute to the development of our beloved country. Now, that's one thing you have to know. Conclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is at the crossroad, Ambassador Baaka says. Liberia holds so much promise, but the promise is evasion originally by the funder has faced many stubborn blocks over a century of statehood. Many of those problems are foundational. Listen to that. Many of our problems are foundational. You know what a foundation is of a building? Many of these problems are foundational and have their root in the origin of its unique statehood in Africa. But many more have been the result of recent deficiency in leadership. I have said on many occasions that Liberia is not a poor country, but the problem of this country is mainly triggered by the lack of sound and honest leadership. It is this leadership we promise the Liberian people, and together we can build a country with a vision aimed at promoting a functional and equitable society for generations to come. Thank you. I wish you all, Liberian back home and in the rest of the diaspora, happy July 26th. May God bless us all and save our country. Ambassador Baaka said. Interesting. Folks, it's a long reading. But interestingly, Ambassador Baaka has shown a little side of his progressive attitude. You know, the like of Ambassador Baaka, those who are still with us, the older progressive who are still with us, it's difficult to discuss this at the relationship between the founding father and that of the indigenous. The relationship has always been difficult to discuss. How can you discuss that properly without pushing blames at one person or the other? But at this time, why would you even do that? When we all have gone through the similar suffering, all of us. So Ambassador Baaka find it difficult to actually go into that. But overall, his message It's that based on the experience, he has the experience, he said, which I've been arguing at the whole time. But he has the experience, he said. And the fact that he has engaged many, many Liberians, elite as well as poor, rural as well as urban, that he has the experience to deal with all of the factions. But his main thing is that Liberia should find way to decentralize. He believes that because of what the central government in Monrovia is doing by making decisions that affect people in the rural area without the people in the rural full participation, because you can't count on the legislature. You say, but they were elected. It's well, yes, but they are just there to collect paycheck. They are there to collect paycheck. We all know that. So Ambassador BOAKAI is saying without, and that's why he even suggesting for the constitutional review, maybe that we have to strengthen in the Constitution. We have to strengthen the power of the representatives, the power of the Senate. So the like of Yaka Koluba will have the opportunity to stand on the representative floor and speak his mind without being bamboozled by the speaker, in accepting whatever the speaker then want him. And he doesn't want to do that. And most of the time he got kicked out of the hall. And people say he's rude. Well, forgive me. But if you're not giving him the opportunity to express himself, to say what is on his mind, then he will be disruptive. Why will he not be disruptive? That horse belonged to him. He was elected just like any of you. And he must be given the opportunity to express himself freely. And if you give Yaka Koluba the opportunity to say what is on his mind, why will Yaka Koluba then try to attack any other person? When Yaka Koluba can go to his district, find out what the problem is, and then when he's given the opportunity to express that what his problem is in his district and on the floor, why would he want to attack the executive? But because of the refusal of those who are in charge. So Ambassador BOAKAI is probably suggesting that perhaps if we go out and try to review the Constitution and maybe find a way to strengthen some of these policy or some of the representatives and things like that, that would be good. But one of the most important things is the decentralization process, because he believed that if you take the power from Monrovia and spread it all around, people in Lofa, people in Grand Union, people in Maryland, all over the counties, when they are being affected by local activities, they must be given the power to make the local decision that will address the problem that is facing them locally. But you were in Monrovia, then you want to face problem in Grand Union County. What's going on there? And then a police department that becomes the kingmaker. The superintendent becomes the president of the county. Everybody else, if you're not his friend, if you're not, I'm not saying this particular superintendent, I'm just giving you an example. But if not a friend, you can't say much. The only legitimate government in any of these counties, as far as I'm concerned, is the parliament chief, because they were duly elected. So, one more reading. Wow, I've been on the team for a long time. I need to drink, sir. No, I'm going on. Okay, let me go on. Now, the last one is very interesting. It's coming from Honorable Cummings. You saw Ambassador BOAKAI taking the step of educating at the same time, asking for problem solution or providing solution to problems, but doing so with respect. Doing this with the mindset of asking Liberian to join him. But let's go to Cummings, Honorable Cummings. Oh yeah, Liberian politics. So you heard Ambassador BOAKAI. Everything's shining good. He asked King Liberian to join him and continue to build this country. There are a lot of challenges ahead, but he was not. There was no grooming stuff to say, "Oh, the sun will not shine tomorrow. Maybe it will rain tomorrow." No, the sun's shining. Ambassador BOAKAI came out and said, "Well, yeah, the sun is shining, but some of the cloud that comes out, these clouds have always been there, and they have a root cause." And Ambassador BOAKAI also, I will put myself on the line here, and I can eat crow. I don't mind putting my foot in my mouth. But let me just say this. Ambassador BOAKAI also, on this particular day, he has indicted all of us to say the problem that we have are foundational. And yet still, we continue to do the same thing over and over. Why can we not fix what is foundational when we know the foundation is cracking? The foundation is not strong. Or the foundation is strong, but it makes the concrete that makes to build that foundation. Corruption is making it. Stealing is making it. Disrespect is making it. Disregard to rule and law is all making it. And it makes this foundation. Corruption is part of that mix. I don't know. I wish Ambassador BOAKAI will tell us the makeup of this foundation. But he's saying our problems are foundational. And it's very interesting. So I believe that he has indicted all of us because we know, and if we agree that they are foundational, why do we continue to repeat those things? Why can't we find means? And as an engineer, that's something that I do. If I see something, for example, people go and do investigation on the roadway, there's a alligator crack and thing, I go out there and make recommendation, rebuild, take it out, put another one there. Because I can't say leave it in there because it's still strong, leave it there, let you pay for it. Then the problem now, next 3 years of me paving over that alligator crack road, the problem now becomes foundational. And this is what we have done. And this is why the ambassador is saying the founding father, when they realized what was coming, instead of fixing it, they decided to build over that. And it stays. But anyway, thank you for staying with us. We appreciate it. Stay, please stay with us. Let me do this last one. Okay. But okay, yeah, let me do the last one. But before that, let me go ahead and while I'm putting myself together, let me go ahead and give Sese Goy and his wife anniversary presentation again. Let's do that.
Tell me what to do, I will do it. Send me on an errand, I will do it for you. Once it's no repugnant to natural justice, equity, and good conscience. You've seen her bad places, I will make her not to go again. Yeah, she gossips too much, I'm gonna cut her mouth too sharp. You know how to be a trap, I will make her remain steady. You don't like the way she smiles, not my fault. You don't like the way she speaks, not my fault. You don't like the way she walks, not my fault. You don't like the way she built, kneel down, pray to Lord. You don't like the way she's built, kneel down, pray to Lord. You don't like the way she's built, kneel down, pray to Lord. Tell me what else to do, I will do it. Please help me to build her, they don't tell me to drop her. Help me to build her, they don't tell me to drop her. Well, my friends, she's my choice, she's my choice, she's my choice, She's my choice. She's my choice. She's my choice. I spent so many days to believe alone. I went through so many struggles to be alone.
Yeah, that's Sissy and his wife. That goes to Sissy and his wife. Okay, so let me read now Honorable Cummings, who is not coming to this July 26th celebration as a kumbaya. He's not here for kumbaya. He's not here to look for friends. He's here to give it to you as he sees it. There's no question asked. Honorable Cummings came out swinging. My fellow Liberian, he even said, the president did. No. My fellow Liberian, he's not here for friendship business. Oh, I love this guy. I really do. He here no friendship business. He'll give it to us exactly as it is. And but you cannot, you see, here again, here's the difference here. Kumi, I'm not saying growing up now. I mean, he's a grown man. More mature, but he has a teeth cut in the private sector where you don't sugarcoat anything. You're truthful, and you call it as it is, so that people based on that will make decisions that will benefit the corporate entity. In politics, little diplomatics here. Yeah, you know, I see a red, I can call it red blue. Something, people. So. Kuma is not here to do that. So let's start. Liberia is 176 years old. Our country is too old and experienced to be where we are today. We are 118 years older than Singapore. We are 101 years older than the state of Israel. We are 110 years older than the Republic of Ghana. Our country inspired these countries and assist order to become independent. Yet, as we celebrate our age, we are ranked almost the poorest and most corrupt nation on earth. That don't mean says so. That don't mean who said nothing out. I come and say it. I told you, you're not here for kumbaya business. That don't want kumbaya to do kumbaya. You're not here for kumbaya. Although we are blessed with so much natural wealth, yet we are poor. Too many of our people live in unacceptable conditions of poverty, Cummings says, and are continuing to die from preventable and treatable illness. Liberia is blessed with fertile soil and good wealth and good weather, yet we cannot feed ourselves. The educational system is a shameful mess. I'm sorry. Kumi is not holding back. He's not holding back, my people. He's not holding back. He's not holding back. There's no two-way street around it. And the justice system is a joke. We cannot even trust the government to fairly investigate and impartially interpret our laws. Honored President, our country has become increasingly lawless. Lawlessness is a serious threat to democracy and a risk to any nation's stability and security. Our peace is shaken. Too many Liberians are living in fear. Too many are jobless, and too many are without employable skill. Things are bad and getting worse, Cummings says. Homes are broken down, families are falling apart, children are forced to become breadwinners as drugs and crime takes over our street and community. Cummings is now holding back. I told you guys. Women and girls continue to struggle for protection from crimes such as rape and inclusion in national decision-making. Our nation is struggling with political insecurity, economic free charity. We are in serious trouble, my people. Yeah. I told you guys, I will go on, but I told you guys that these three gentlemen coming to this position and this July 26th give them opportunity to actually tell us who they are. President WEAH, in his speech, the sun is shining and the sun will continue to shine. We should come together. As the sun is shining, we should come together to clean the place so that when the sun starts shining, our place will be clean and we will all be living in good condition. Nothing bad, no rain in his forecast. Ambassador BOAKAI, on the other hand, is saying, yes, the sun is shining, but the cloud is coming. And the cloud that is coming has always been there. We must recognize that. We must try to fix it now before the cloud comes. We can't pretend that the cloud is not going to come. CUMMINGS is saying, forget all that. The cloud is here. The ring is here. You're going to take the blindfold from our faces so we can see. You're not going to lie to us. Oh, my goodness. That, folks, is the difference of someone who was pretty much nurtured in corporate world. Here in the United States, the corporate world, I'm not a part of the corporate world. In fact, most of the managers there at my job, I don't even trust them because we all are designers. So many of us used to, just like me, I'm doing design right now. But then they move up, which is no big deal for me because I don't want to move up. Move up to do what? So I can get heart attack? Just like other people have done recently, other people have had heart attack recently. I want that kind of job. I do my design, I finish, I go home. But the issue is when they get up there, then they forget the process and they think that we all were going through. They kind of complain. We all use a complaint. They go up there when as soon as I know many of them, so I call them by their first name. Something that kind of conversation is it's not what we do anymore. What? So, but CUMMINGS is here and saying these things. Okay, my people. International financial institutions are keeping us on economic life support. All across the country and in every political party, Liberians are suffering. Serious international investors are not finding our country to be a suitable destination for investment under President WEAH. The government is corrupt, wasteful, divisive, irresponsible, and cannot be trusted to obey its own law, CUMMINGS said. Even worse, the WEAH administration does not know what it is doing and cannot inspire a rest of the nation compass. So we find our way to be bright and united future. Under President WEAH, our country is adrift. We have lost our way. Admittedly, Liberia decline did not begin with President WEAH. However, see, that's he getting the after saying all that, he said, okay, they realize, okay, I'm a politician. I'm not here to I'm not a technocrat, I'm a politician. So now he's taking the political line. Admittedly, Liberia's decline did not begin with President WEAH. However, every good thing this administration inherited has effectively made bad, and every bad thing, including corruption that it inherited, it has made historically worse. Over the last 6 years, Liberia has become a gangster paradise, presided over by a band of thieves. What? Yeah, comic. Our country is a drug haven. Our diplomatic passports are possessed by international criminals. Our democracy is under threat. Lawlessness, abounded, and our governance system is overtaken by cronyism, incompetence, and striking dictatorship. As if this is not dangerous enough, stride of new idea and vision, some political leaders are deepening the wound of our fractured nation and lowering our politics into an appeal to tribal and religious division. Liberians of every tribe and religion are suffering the mismanagement of our country and the result of a corrupt leadership. Now it is the time to fuel tribal tension. Now it is not the time to fuel tribal tension or to divide our people. And so, if any political leader wants to take us backward, they should know that Liberians deserve to move forward. Talk about tribe, but our people want to talk about fixing the economy so they can find good and decent paying job. Talk about this dialect, but our people... Come you kidding me? Because something too obvious, Kumi can't speak dialect. Why he's saying that? He's talking to me directly. Talk about dialect, but our people want to fix their roads, fix their schools, and fix their hospital. Liberians of all tribes want to see their lives improve. And so, if you have no new idea about how to fix our country and stop the suffering of our people, shut up and sit down. Folks, what can I say? Kumi is on the road, folks. Yeah. Where have you seen a Liberian politician telling people to shut up and sit down? This is the presidential candidate. So if he wins, he will make him enjoy the police chief. Forget it. No criminal police. Emon John and Kumi running the country. Any criminal, even if you sleeping at night and you have the dream of becoming criminal, they will arrest you in your dream. Folks. Oh. Yeah, Kumi, I'm telling you, you're really doing it tonight for me. Thank you. Okay. My fellow Liberian, he says, he told people to shut up and sit down. I'm surprised he didn't say find place to sit down. My fellow Liberian, he says, I have worked in many foreign capitals around the world and have built a accountable system. I have led teams comprising citizens of many different countries. I know that citizens of other nations are not smarter than we are. Our country is richly blessed. My people, including with competent and qualified citizens who have properly managed our country and led us to a new future of unity and shared prosperity. Liberia is rich in talent and human capacity. I see them in every political party and across all tribes. I see them in every region. I see them across the Liberian diaspora. We will work with everyone, irrespective of differences in tribe, gender, religion, and political party affiliation. All we will require is a new mindset of high integrity and a commitment to public accountability, which I will lead by an example to fix broken system. Come say. For me, real change is not meaningless political slogan. This is because I refuse to agree that we must continue to accept lower standard. Come say. Incompetence and lack of integrity in the leadership of our country. Come says. I refuse to accept that Liberians are cursed to be poor and corrupt, and that it is okay for our political leader to continue to corruptly negotiate away our natural resources so that we have increasingly become a rent-seeking and dependent nation, come say. I refuse to accept that after shipping our own rubber, diamond, iron ore, and gold, our community still need to be without first-class school, our hospital without modern technology and equipment, and our roads continue to be unpaved and impassable. We have to fix this foolishness. Yeah, Kumi is not playing, people. If you lack the rule of law, this is your man. This is your man. Oh my goodness. He's not playing around. He's not playing around. He's giving it to you. You like it, you go for him. If not, okay. But he's not going to come here and sugarcoat anything. I don't believe that's the intent. Kumi is not here tonight. What I'm reading, seeking kumbaya. No. He's going to give it to you as it is. I strongly disagree that we must continue to outsource the responsibilities of our government to other nations and international organizations. Of course, we need international assistance, but we do not need others to do for us what we can and should be able to be doing for ourselves. Liberia is not cursed by God to have corrupt leaders and poor people. Yeah, come here. I wear you. I wear you to that, my man. I wear you all the way. All the way. Come here. I wear you all the way. I am running for president to change these things. I am running to stop the mismanagement of our country. I am running to change the selfish, greedy, corrupt, and exclusionary mindset that continue to keep us poor, our government corrupt, and our people divided. All Liberians own Liberia. All Liberians deserve to benefit from the rich of Liberia, from the riches of Liberia. I promise you that this mindset will be the guiding post for all public policy and action of the Cummings-led government. Yeah. Yeah, come here, yeah, man. I like the fighting spirit in the man. What? Yeah, come here. Yeah, that coconut plantation talk here. I here to play football. I want come. I want to score. You fall there. You fall behind the ball. I kick the ball. Whether your foot stay behind the ball, you think that the ball going to the goal. I ain't here for no thing there. The iron store, I got finna find my iron store all night. I don't tell you, man, I beg you, man. You want to play, go home. You want to play, go home. You want to play, stay here and cook everything. When your phobia, my football, I kick it. Kumi is on it, folks. Yeah. You see, this is how you do it. Kumi came to this thing here, trusting these people. I always said it. And then the people put pepper in his eye. Now he know now that if you're dealing with Liberian politicians, you can't be soft and being politically correct. He knows now. You think the way Kumi talking now, the way he is, you think if they were to form CPP, that foolishness they did to him, I'm using his word, that foolishness they did to him at the time, you think they're able to do it now? They'll be afraid of him because they know now he's not here to sugarcoat anything. You'll be respectful, but he will not let you abuse him. Kumi. Okay, let me go on. I'm getting excited of myself. Samson too. Folks, that's what we do here on Liberia Public. But these are very serious business. I'm laughing because Kumi, for me, he's not taking prisoner. He's here to say exactly how it's supposed to be, what he thinks. That's it. So this is what I do here on my own show. You heard me and Mr. So the last time he wanted to come and moderate how I moderate my show and stuff like that. I should be a little bit considered. I run my show the way I want my show. And you heard him and said, well, I give him one for almost an hour. So this is it. You say it as long deep inside of you. You're satisfied with between you and your God. You're saying it and you're not lying to you and your God. You're okay. All right, let me go on. Oh, I don't even think I'll take analysts and I say I hope to finish and once I finish, I'll close. My fellow citizens, although Liberia is old, our population is young. Interesting. Our young people are our nation's greatest asset. Our youthful population is dynamic, talented, and ambitious. They hold the key to unlocking the vast potential of our country. Real change is about empowering youth, empowering young people to be to be the torchbearer of hope and leaders of the new, inclusive, and progressive society. Young people need to believe that their hard work paid off and that success is possible if anyone is willing to work for it. At our STEM school and across many of our institutions of learning, I see that just a little help and with the right mindset to work hard in pursuit of excellence, our children can reach higher in life, and many parents could not reach. Many parents could not reach. This is the case with Formula F. Tully, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I mean, mispronouncing your name, I'm sorry. A young Liberian who delivered his valedictory speech entirely in Chinese. And at the graduation of the program of the UXX class of 2023, Formula is the first foreign student to Duke's a graduating class of over 4,508 Chinese students. And the Chinese student, the student here in the United States, is scared of them because they're very smart. But for the Liberian to go and do that, that's okay. That kind of person there, that's one thing. The scene is true of a 9-year-old Liberian, Terry Clement, who is being, and if I'm pronouncing your name wrongly, I also apologize, who is being celebrated as one of the best basketball players in his age group in the United States. All across our country, there are Liberians with talent and special gift that we must find and assist to become the best that they can be, not just in Liberia, but in the world. My people, our young people are the link to the future we seek. This is why all of us must be very concerned about the growing drug epidemic that is sweeping the nation, undermining our nation's future, and killing our children. Such is the inhumane crime that is mostly targeting our young people that nowhere, not even school campus, appears to be safe and off limits to the drug peddler and their enablers. Today, let me put the drug traffickers and their enablers notice. We will come after you for what you are doing to our children and to the future of our country. Stop now, because under the CUMMINGS administration, under the CUMMINGS government, there will be no hiding place for drug traffickers except in our prison. To those who are already addicted, help is on its way. Honor President WEAH, drug traffickers are right. Honor President WEAH, drug traffickers are right to feel protected. The WEAH-led government has done a lot of bad, corrupt, and incompetent things, but to have mismanaged the $100 million drug bust prosecution the way it did, it is effectively conspired against the interest of our nation and the children. For this government to set the drug trafficker free, it is an unforgiving national sin. It is a disgrace of historic proportion. They say curse is upon the dog that only barks after the rose has left. Curse also is upon a government that will declare a so-called state of emergency on drugs after helping cocaine traffickers to freely walk away. Come in. My fellow Liberians, there are two common traits every Liberian has been blessed to have. Firstly, we are resilient. However difficult the situation may be, we always find a way to make it through. Secondly, we are blessed with an entrepreneurial spirit. Those who say Liberia cannot do business are wrong and do not really know us. I was educated and learned about business from my mother who saw women government. Like me, many have gained their education because their parents, especially their mothers, sold bread, bitter ball, palm oil, and kerosene, among other things, to send them to school. Small businesses and our spirit and our spirit of entrepreneurship have seen unknown family grow out of poverty and develop into permanence. Small businesses are the backbone of our economy. This is why, for us, fixing the economy means growing small businesses and allowing the Liberian entrepreneur spirit to soar. Through the collective effort of small businesses, we shall realize the true potential of inclusive economic growth and social upliftment. Under the Cumming leadership, Liberia women, especially those doing business, do not need to worry about loan to grow their businesses, because we will not rest until we graduate Liberian water market into becoming shops and push Liberian shop owner to be owners of store. We want to see Liberian paddy trader become wholesalers, distributors, and importers. There is nothing wrong with a Liberian getting rich through hard work and honestly. We will raise the bar. We will encourage Liberians to think big, and we will not settle for failure of Liberian dream in their own country. If a Liberian is willing to work hard under a Cumming-led government, we will make it easy and possible for that person to succeed. This too is what we are determined to fix about our country. From sport business and from sport business and from science to art, success in Liberia will not be privilege only for a few. It will be a real possibility for all who are willing to try. We will provide access to resources, mentorship, and financial support to turn ideas and dreams of Liberians into reality. We will foster technological and advancement to bridge the digital divide so as to launch our country into real 21st century transformation. We will challenge our university and institution of higher learning to undertake research. We must expand the creativity, imagination, and innovation of professors and students. Through support for research and development, we will push to break new ground and to find homegrown and substantial solution to challenges, including in medicine, manufacture, nutrition, and food security. My people, the 176 years after we declare ourselves an independent nation, the time has come to make another declaration, a declaration to fix Liberia. This is because no child need to go to bed hungry in Liberia. No school need to be abandoned into being substandard, and no public hospital need to be without medicine, modern technology, and equipment to tend to sick and prevent the outbreak of disease. With a new mindset and the right leadership, which we will provide, we will open Liberia to serious international investment. We will create decent paying jobs and stop the reliance on government to be the biggest employer in the economy. We will grow the economy by growing the private sector and actually increasing the budget so that more will go to those who deserve it the most, and not as currently structured where the president, vice president, speaker pro tem, and deputy speaker take out more than the budget, take out from the budget than school and hospital. This one, that my area. That's what he said. This one, that my area. We will fix it. Finally, my people, there really is a lot we need to do beginning in the next 6 years to fix our country. The next 6 years do not have to be like the last 6. The heartbreaking poverty of Liberia we are seeing everywhere in our country, the mismanagement and corruption in government, and the repeated neglect and abandonment of Liberian people by those elected to serve them must not be allowed to continue. None of the exclusion inequality and injustice Liberians are confronting today need to be reality of our children and grandchildren tomorrow. We must fix our country. The real work to change the direction of our country and improve the living condition of our people, which must be led by the president, is a difficult one for which leaders need to be physically ready and mentally strong. We are ready. I am ready. I do not come to this politics to get rich. I came for change. After a successful career in the private sector, I have come to join the honest effort of others to change our country for the betterment of all Liberia. If all of us just sit aside and leave our country to only politicians who are looking to take care of themselves and their family, nothing will change in our country. A lot has happened to me since I started raising my voice for change. I have been lied on, conspired against, and falsely prosecuted. But God knows the intention of my heart. And so he has steadily guided me and continued to protect me from those who do not want things to change because they believe their time has come to chop the elephant meat. Even if it were before, Liberia is no longer an elephant meat. Plus, the only time that this is upon us is the time to change. Our country is bleeding. Liberia is suffering. Liberians are suffering. This is why it is not enough that we only change party in October. We must elect the right leadership to inspire a change in mindset. If we are serious to lift Liberia from poverty, we must make Liberia a better place for all Liberians. With faith in God and the support of you, the Liberian people, we will fix our country. We will change Liberia. Our country is down, but we can lift it. We can lift Liberia up again. I promise you, Liberia will rise again. Our nation is fractured, but we can be healed, reconcile, and unite. We can find ourselves again, not a tribalist man and woman, but as equal citizens. We have fallen behind other nations, but we can run faster to not only catch up, but surpass them. We can do this, my people. After all, we are Liberians. Yeah, there is nothing we cannot do with the right leadership and mindset. I am ready. I know that Liberians are ready, because if we do not fix Liberia, who will fix it for us? If we do not fix it now, when will we fix it? Real change is coming. Liberia deserves better. Liberia deserves better. Liberians deserve better. Samson too. They man from Toad Town. Okay. Okay. All right. Folks, I'm going to spend about 5 minutes here and I'll be out of here. Let me rest my head smarter. My man, what you think that smart thing here? Eh? So, no, on a very serious note, you heard the reading, folks. I thought Cummings, the fact that he was not taken prisoner, but he was being truthful for what he believed and saying what he wants to say without missing a word. Okay? Now, to recap, President WEAH, all of his statement basically saying the sun is shining, but the sun can shine better if we all work together and move this country forward. We will continue to enjoy the shining sun. Okay, Ambrose, I will Ambrose, let me turn it on. Let me turn it on. Okay. Ambassador BOAKAI is saying, look, my people, this thing is very serious. I have experience, and based on my experience, I think I can produce this thing here. It's no question asked. Okay, and so let me put a number. Maybe I'll take 5 minutes of your time tonight. Let me put a number up. Maybe you guys need a call. Let me see if I can. Okay, so call me. We'll just take 4 or 5 calls, and because I know many of you stay with me all throughout my Tabata reading and thing. Let me call Ambrose back. Okay, so I think it's very interesting, very interesting. So Ambassador WEAH says sun shining, and then President WEAH and Ambassador BOAKAI came out and said, "Yes, the sun is shining." Yes, hello, Ambrose, can you hear me? Yeah, but okay, let's see. Can you hear me now? No, Ambrose. Okay, let me call you back. Let me make sure that I'm connected. So folks, but it's on though. It's on. Okay, let me call him again. If not, I put too many ways to. Okay. Amber, can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, but I don't know why I can't hear you. Okay, but go ahead. Go ahead. What do you make of my reading here tonight? I suffer a lot, but
you did a lot, bro. I disagree with everything.
Oh, Ambrose, after almost 2-3 hours.
I was out going back, bro. So coming, you see sometimes you see the truth and it's like that's a country. When Mr. Kumi had last interview with that journalist, he said it will come a time and we'll get political answer. And that's the moment right here to just say. When for him to forget half of Liberian passport was possessed by foreigners. Now he's trying to accuse this government of issuing foreigner language.
Are you there?
Yeah, I hear myself. Let me call you back. I hear you back.
Yeah, I know. Maybe you need stuff here. Okay, folks. While he's calling back, try someone give me a call. He said he disagree with all my effort here tonight. Samson told LeBron Pablo, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind? Amber, are you there? Okay, hold on, Amber, hold on. Okay, hold on, guys. I don't know why am I not? Can you guys hear me? All right. Okay. Well, we'll do it this way. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Why am I not able to? Okay. Okay, Terry, go ahead. Go ahead, Terry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for the show tonight. Actually, you did a great job to bring up the 3 formidable candidates in the race. But the thing is that they all spoke well. But who is the best person to implement all of what each of them has said individually? In my mind, and my opinion, would be JMB. Why? Because he has proven it, he has been tested, and he has proven to be the guy. President WEAH have been tested, and we see a lot of errors. But JMB have also been tested, and we see errors, we see success. Cummings, on the other hand, have never been tested. So we see that giving Mr. Cummings this particular opportunity, he spoke well to
Hold on 1 minute, Terry, please. Hold on. Let me merge this guy. Hold on, Terry. Okay, Terry, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Terry. Let Terry finish, and then we can come to you. Go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, so giving Mr. Cummings the opportunity will be something like obscurity. Like we don't know what is going to happen because he's going to like be starting all over. It's going to be like something new to him. And is going to struggle because the economy of Liberia is not something sitting somewhere that you can just go and do it like how you did it in America. Mr. Cummings ran by a system that was already established. So he boasts about that a lot. Unlike Liberia economy is not like American economy. So there is a big difference. We see Mr. Cummings working with the like he talk about corruption, but he works with the like of Musa Belete in defendant, thereby denigrating a well-known institution like FIFA. All right, to protect Musa Belete because Musa Belete is his chairman. So what do we have to say about that? You know, so everybody is somehow encrypted. You know, one thing JMB said, he said that this is a foundational problem. What is happening to Liberia is a foundational problem. He Mr. Cummings came out to attack that, you know, because apparently people say you don't speak dialect, you know, and this whole Congress, he tried to, because apparently that was very burning on his heart and he wanted to let it out, which he did. But it still does not negate the fact that the cloud hanging over Liberia is caused by this particular elite.
Okay. All right.
If you want to fix it, you have to fix it from that particular place.
Okay. All right, Terry. There's a lot of people on the line. Okay. Thank you. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on, guys. Let me merge the other color here, please. Okay. Okay. Terry, are you there? Guys, a lot of people. I don't know if I'm going to be able to leave tonight. Yes, give me a minute. Okay, Terry, thank you very much. We got a lot of people on the line here. Let me get Terry. Terry, thank you. Terry, are you there? Okay. All right, Terry. Oh, Jesus. Did I get everybody off? Okay, let me call it. Samson told Liberian Public, can you hear me? No. Okay. Go ahead. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Yeah, this is Elvis calling from Minnesota.
Okay, Elvis, go ahead.
Thank you for taking my call, Mr. Toa, I should say. And let me say this, you know, I think I would agree with Terry, even though I don't agree with Terry on anything really, but I would agree with him on the Cummings issue. Look, Mr. Toa, we the short people, you know, we always when we're working, we let to stick our chest out to make ourselves a little bigger. What Cummings are doing was simply trying to make himself look tough, to sound like a tough guy, and he is not that guy. He don't have the personality for it. He don't have the stature for it. He's not a tough guy. He has money. He has brains. Let him use his brains to brainstorm with all these smart people who are part of the political landscape, and his money to gain the presidency. He can't bully his way to the presidency. He can't talk tough to the presidency. And then when you go to BOAKAI, his response talking about somebody who has benefited from government over 40 years, saying all children to school based on the government salary he was receiving, to come here and say that the government haven't served the people when he was a part of the government who didn't serve the people for 12 years. You know, somebody like JMB who always crying victim or benefited from the government all his life. In our whole speech, he forgot to mention his squander opportunities. I guess maybe they told him not to mention it, but he's a part of all of the problems. From the days of J.J. Robert to the day that we have today, he had a part to play for 12 years in that government and the other years that he spent in the Ministry of Agriculture and other ministries. So for me, I would say this, Mr. To. Chief Samson, we know the man is not an English professor. He's not going to speak the most flowery English. He spoke in his local vernacular, and somebody translated it. And it was a wonderful sight to see a quote-unquote country man, a Zoe. You know the people that Zoe could have been killed during the initial formation of our country. Those people were looked down upon. They were heathens. It was somebody to be cast out, somebody not to even be associated with, to even be in the quote-unquote the church of the country. But he stood in that church and he gave, he was the orator, and he gave a speech for the entire nation to listen to. So it shows that we've made progress. After 176 years, we've made progress, and everybody for every facet of our society is represented on the 26th anniversary on the 176th anniversary of the founding of Liberia. So thanks to President WEAH and thanks to Chief Zazankar for delivering that message. And thank you for taking my call.
Okay, Evan, thank you. I'm not going to respond to you guys tonight. Go ahead. Okay, some other guy was calling here earlier, but let me see if I can call him back. Okay, so let's call him back. Okay, he's calling again. All right, Speaker Samson to LeBron Public, what's your name, where you're calling from, what's on your mind?
Yeah, hi, this is Munel Kishan, the General. How are you, Samson? How's everything?
Oh, fine, General. Oh, wow, General, good evening.
Yeah, I've been watching you. You went through all the nice speeches that was written by people, leaders. But let me just make my little point. The first thing I will start with the government. When I see Liberians coming out to say that this present government is doing good and everybody is represented and whatsoever, this is not what the Liberian people asked for in 2017, that there will be no jobs, there will be no security for the people. When the president took that oath that I would defend the constitution of Liberia, he's talking about the people. Today, there's no job in our country. People are struggling to feed the family. Today, there is no justice for people. There are only selective justice in Liberia. President WEAH and his surroundings they have turned to millionaires in 5 years. What a shame. And I will see smart Liberians in America enjoying to say that Liberia is okay. Zazakawa gave a very good speech. A man who never went to school. But when you translate what he said, it was perfect. Whatever President WEAH with the master's degree, where is the leadership? He promised the Liberian people that he would take them out of poverty. It means that he got to divide money to them. The Liberian people will not really like President WEAH. We are not novice. We know exactly what's going on. I was in Liberia and I saw it. The people are tired, and Liberians are not people who are patient-minded people. They will vote, they will remove President WEAH this coming election. And I will go back to my UP brothers who think that they're entitled to leadership in Liberia. Liberia is not a two-party system. It's a multi-party. We got 3, 4, 5. We got 20 candidates. Okay, it is their right to run. But let UP sit aside. Let us spare us for God's sake. 12 years, we saw what happened. In the last 7 years into UP, if this, and JB, Joseph Newman BOAKAI, refused to take responsibility of the past government, what do you expect? Tell us what UP did good and what was bad, that you can fix it. Or you beating around the bush, you refuse to acknowledge the little good of UP. Today, CDC is running with all the good that UP did. Then this and Vice President telling us we should re-elect him with the people that he brought. And sometimes I hear my brothers and sisters say, oh, Musa Belete is corrupt, and Musa Belete never worked in government. Musa Belete was never indicted by any court in Liberia. He took them to court, he won. FIFA indicting and telling the people that, oh, Mr. Belete is banned for 10 years. FIFA don't go to court. FIFA has their own court. Whatever decision, that's it. No competent court of jurisdiction in the world recognize FIFA decision. So let us spare us, for God's sake.
Okay.
And two, Mr. Cummings will now reproduce Liberians. The people that are there, if you support Ellis Cummings, that means you are prepared to change. Whether you were crook yesterday, if you can look at Ellis Cummings and say, yes, I am behind Ellis Cummings, you are prepared. And Ellis Cummings will be the next president.
Okay.
Work for it, and he's continuing to work, and he's continuing to tell Liberian people.
Thank you, General. Thank you. Well spoken. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. All right, folks. Okay. Again, folks, Samson told LeBron Paparito, I want to thank all of you way over time. My son calling over and over to come get him. But I think it's a wonderful, wonderful show. I'm very exhausted here. There's no question, I will sleep like a baby tonight. I did a lot of reading here. It's not like it's not very necessary. very necessary. And I appreciate those of you that were behind me listening. And I thank you very much for letting me come here and read my total English here to you. Whatever that I thought I was reading, but I really appreciate that. I really appreciate it. And I will encourage all of you to go on Dealer Observer and get the actual papers and read them yourself. They're very interesting. The way all three of these gentlemen decide to approach the Liberian issue is very interesting. Very interesting. But we'll be back here Monday, and we will carry on the program and say it again. Once again, I want to say thanks to all of you. Brother Sisse, congratulations and happy anniversary as well. And then again, folks, Samson told Liberian Public Radio, I will say good night to all of you. It's been a wonderful, wonderful day. Good night, folks.
Thank you.